just another transcript. Yep, there we go. Okay. All right. All right. Let's do this. Let's finish up the lesson and then finish, obviously, like I said, that exercise and talk about, let's say, taglines and man, what am I saying? BMH radio. Right. Okay. All right. Uh, just give me a second. Right. All right. All right. You can see the screen. Fine. We're going to continue. You can see branding, trademarks, etc. All good. I think it should be visible. Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay, so let's look at, let's look at the definitions of branding, and then versus trademark. So a brand is obviously a product, a service, a concept that is publicly distinguished from other products, services, or concepts, so it can be easily communicated and marketed. We know this very well, and you are in your third year, so you've done PR marketing. We're doing some revision here. Branding is the process of obviously creating actions, activations, right, to be able to spread the word of this particular brand in any other kind of way. So branding can be signs, symbols, words, combination of any one of those. Anything that, again, okay, yeah, anything that can extend that brand marketed wise, right, marketing wise, should I say, be able to gain consciousness, I'll say, or let's say extend some consciousness from anyone in the external sector, right, to this particular product, brand, service, right, product, service, etc. Okay, so what is a trademark? We know that as a legal name for a brand's identity. And when it's identified, it represents a firm. It is represents a firm. It's called a brand name, right? Let's get into the stuff that is a little bit more applicable to what we want to talk about, right? So within obviously radio, like you can just imagine if you've got a sense of the Coca-Cola effect, right? So at any one point, anyone who doesn't even have to be able to read or can see the Coca-Cola sign or the logo and know that this is Coke right here that you are buying. It's long past the transition, that particular point where people have to actually read the logo. They don't even read Coca-Cola anymore. They just see the logo and they know that the brand is the brand is the brand, right? We have that in many other brands as well, which we have a look at. Like, for example, Apple is very, I mean, it's very unique, and it's very recognizable. When you see that little Apple, it's going to come up now somewhere. We know that this is an Apple product, right? Banking as well. I think one of the most, I think I know, not just because I have been with Absa for so long, since I was a kid, but that red Absa logo, right? Also very synonymous. We know they've kind of kept it constant, which is a good thing. And then we can go back to, say, to stations, right? So, for example, YFM has a very memorable brand image, because that logo, because it's never changed. It hasn't. I don't think it's changed. It's been the same for as long as YFM's been YFM, right? We look at other stations, for example. Metro's changed slightly, but again, the newer ones for the like 5FM hasn't changed in a long time. Jacaranda and 947 have changed quite recently, right? And so again, that brand detachment is a big danger for that particular company, right? That station, because again, it insinuates, like it implies that something has changed with the actual product itself, and people don't like that, right? Especially if you don't make a big announcement. Oh, now we're going to be playing this. With this now with this type of station. It's this. It has them guessing, and it makes people uncomfortable, listeners specifically. All right, so it's a useful part, obviously, of branding, because I mean we put branding everywhere, with outside broadcasts, with products, with obviously our online presence, or online, like I say, footprint as well. Everywhere you go and anywhere you are where the station is, like that brand must, that logo must become synonymous with everything that the station represents and or is, right? Okay. Your first brand goal is to be more than just a voice on the radio. So we can even start breaking it down, which we do, to individual people and how they contribute to the larger brand, right? So at any one point, if you look at any show, first of all, and you look at any one person, excluding now logos, so we're taking away, let's say, logos that apply to people and shows, right? We are brand strong first. You have to be, all of those presenters in that lineup are they're doing quote unquote the same thing. They're doing whatever it is that brand's vision, right? And I suppose brand promise, right, is to the listener. They're doing that first and then doing everything else to stand obviously uniquely on their own and independently on their own. So many opportunities that exist for people in radio outside of these shows. They can include, they can have a DJ presence, right? They can be producers, voiceover artists, actors, MCs, consultants, whatever it may be, right? To increase your reach for your brand and what it is that obviously the kind of again that portfolio of what you can do as a professional as well. So when you are creating your own brand, what do you need to focus on? Goals. Train your focus directly on that particular prize. So what is it that you want to do with your brand? And it is easier when you are servicing. So it becomes it becomes clearer when you are providing a service or you are providing a product, not so clear when you are the service or the product. But you have to start with goals. So you want to be this type of person, this type of voice. You want to be able to focus on these type of things. Be again an ambassador, quote unquote, with these types of passions. You want to have these type of listeners, this type of fan base, this type of mindset. You want whatever it may be, right? And then you would have, let's say, tangible goals. So, for example, you want to grow from community to commercial. You want to make sure that you start your own, I don't know, NGO. You want to start, like, again, your own business. I don't know what it may be, right? So they're tangible goals, things that you can touch and you can feel. Identifying your goals will allow you to clarify missions, right? Your mission that is obviously updated as you move along and your brand grows, right, in strength. Um, and not be distracted by making this brand way too broad. So when you're making any progress, you're making it in very, very small doses, very small steps. And so it's going to take you much longer to get somewhere or anywhere, instead of focusing, let's just kind of like laser focusing around a particular direction and then getting much further in a shorter space of time, right? So most importantly, it's going to help you develop a sense of what is important to you as a product and obviously what is not important. So learn to think like a politician. See your listeners as voters. Do it when you speak, when you do something, when you post something, when you share something on air, whatever it is. Like, are they voting for you? Are they supporting you, right? So like a politician would expect, they would get votes, they would get followers. I'm saying so, party followers, whatever it may be. They'd have an extended voice, right, of the population, right, which is what you want as a presenter, as being a voice for the population, right, for the larger population of your target audience, right? Will it get us any votes? Make our people want to vote, or will it scare other voters, quote unquote, away? So here's a scenario for you. Scenario, tomato, tomato, doesn't matter. Here's the first one. Which of the two will you rather do and why? The first one is you're invited to the opening, like a Saturday opening of a new car dealership. The dealership owner will pay you $10,000 for your time. All you are required to do is just play some music on the sound system that they're going to provide. And when the day is finished, you're allowed to choose any one of the cars on the floor and then be allowed to drive that for 6 months free of charge, right? The second scenario is the same Saturday, you have another choice, right? You're invited to a charity fundraiser. There is no fee for your time, but the event will be attended by a number of celebrities and influential entertainment industry people. Which of the two will you choose? And again, there's no right or wrong answer, depending on why it is that you're doing it, right? And why. So go ahead, tell me which of the two would you choose and why. Think about brand, all right?
Yeah, definitely the second one.
Okay, why?
Obviously, obviously there would be a lot of influential people that would allow me to network with and share my what sort
Well,
of my
your portfolio, I guess, your work, right?
yeah in
Your
the
brand at the end of the day, right?
yeah.
Tell
People would,
me what type of conversations, like I'm saying to you, we do place a lot of emphasis in networking because we know it works, right?
mm,
How how do you network? Do you network at all?
I wouldn't call it networking because I what I do is kind of hit people because I'm a musician on the side, so I kind of hit people up that I'm kind of interested in their work and I would one day wish to work with them. So DM them, tell them I like what they're doing, show them what I'm currently doing and what I would like for the both parties to work on in
And
the future.
what have some of the responses been like?
Uh, some people ignore. They don't even reply. I've had a few. Maybe we can work on maybe a busy schedule. But yeah,
Yeah.
people are lukewarm on and off, so it's
Mm.
nothing. Yeah,
Have you had a positive response, like a concrete response yet?
a few.
Like for example?
Person say, "Oh, I also like what you're doing. I would really like us to work because we have quite similar taste and whatever. So hit me up on this day. I'm available on this day. You
Mm.
can come to you. I've had a few though.
Have you followed through on any of those? So I want to kind of go with start to finish so we can
Yeah.
see the benefits of and the lessons learned through through networking. There isn't obviously there's there isn't a one size fits all for networking because like you said there, some people just don't like you or they don't need you. Finished. That
Yeah.
that's that those are the two only reasons that they're not going to want to do something with you. They don't need you. They don't like you. Finished. But in every other way, you can, you got to have some kind of, man, I don't know, there's a style to networking. Do you understand? Right. There's a swag to it. And I'm not talking about the actual products of swag. I'm saying there's a style to it. There's a charisma, which you have to really say, okay, like I'm going in with ideas in mind because people like when you come with thoughts that they think they need to have and should be having, but now you're coming with them already. Does it make sense? In other words, you're thinking for them in the line of thought, the train of thought that they want to think. And so then they'll 10 to 1 respond, uh, obviously quite warmly to you, with whatever way. Uh, Let me not get, obviously, because I can and I do get a little bit out of scope. So, with coming back to, let's say, you, what were those conversations like? Were they proactive? Or were you just kind of like flashing your way across whoever? Sorry, take that off. Right. Were you just flashing away across whoever it was that was at that current event, and you were just trying to tell as many people about you as possible? What was the situation?
I mean, an example I could give is maybe I'm currently working on something, right?
You
And
know,
I see this particular person that has maybe already accomplished that, or maybe their work is leaning towards what I'm currently working towards. Then I could share whatever I'm currently working with and see if they would have any interest in putting a hand or sharing some kind of feedback. So yeah, it would be that, not
so
flashing
let's
it.
say, yeah, so you're working on a piece like not a song but a track, I suppose. You're working on a like that, and you'd share, let's say, your initial production or initial phase production. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, sort of.
Um, have you targeted someone like made again? There's a difference when you are quote unquote obsessed with someone, and in a good way. So I use the word obsessed. In other words, you can envision obviously you and them in obviously like a symbiotic relationship, so both obviously benefit, right? uh they would definitely say yes to, their product or their service or their brand kind of inside out, um almost second, almost kind of like you can place yourself second to third, next to, I'm saying, them who would know their product the most, again, right, and their brand. But you understand, in other words, you really do a lot of research. You put yourself, like I say, immersively in whatever it is that you're offering, and they can offer or are offering, or whatever it is. You immersively place a built product or an opportunity, right, so that they feel that you've invested, quote unquote, made them feel special. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Not just any old person. um, have you been in a situation like that?
No, not excessively. I've had people that I kind of envy working with, but I've never extensively followed them, see what they currently or what they've done in the past. Or I've never had
Mm.
that kind of what you call obsession.
Okay. Do you feel like that might make a difference? And I'm not strapping you into a corner. I'm saying, do you think it'll make a difference?
Well, yeah, it would to some people. I think to some extent it would work because people like seeing you, seeing that you are actually invested in
Yes.
what they did or currently doing. And yeah, I think not everyone, but yeah, to some people might work.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it does. Like you say, you've got to get the right person at the right time, and you don't really know when that is. You can guesstimate to a large extent because it could be seasonal. You could be viewing them. I'm saying, you keeping your eye on them for opportunities. Like they asking for something. They were awarded something. They started something. They are moving somewhere. Does it make sense? Yeah, there are many triggers that would allow you an opportunity to become valuable. Do you understand, right? It's not obviously as easy and clear cut as that. It's not, because it becomes complex, right? And again, some people just don't have the time, the resources, the capacity, or the interest. Finished. And yeah, I suppose to some extent you can take it offensively, but it genuinely is that cold. You know what I mean?
I do.
Um, yeah.
No, I was just agreeing to what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah. So my thing is, again, also, I'm not, yeah, no, I am saying this. It's practical to aim for stuff that that they almost, 90% they're going to say yes. Does that make sense? So you can come out with something. So something can happen. And it's not to downplay what you have as, let's say, lower quality, or you understand, or a different class, or whatever. It's about playing in your lane. Does it make sense? Like running in your racing in your own lane, the right
What?
lane with the right people at the right times, right? And I don't want to harp on about it. I'm just saying the way that because networking, let's say you go to an event, right?
Mhm.
Right? There are people there that go and attend it. Cool. Everyone is there one or the another reason. They're there to do the same thing you are, which is network, or two, they're actually just going because they want to have some kind of good time. Finished. Right. Um, uh, Maybe even both, I suppose, to some extent, but not really. Right. Because there's someone that will be there that doesn't need anything. Right. They don't want anything. They're not looking for anything. They're not interested in anything, right? And there'll be few and far between. But the others are going there 10 to 1 for the networking reason, right? The opportunity reason. If you just approach 3 to 4 people that you know, you've premeditated some kind of discussion or conversation with them. Do you understand? So they know, oh, okay, like you are whatever it is. You understand? Jewel, whatever name you want to go by. I'm saying to you, right? Your brand, right? And they are welcoming, even in a little way, right? They're open to discussion. You don't have to be too, I don't, you don't have to hard sell stuff, right? Immediately. They would know, right? People also are know intentions as well. And they would talk to you knowing well what your intentions are too. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Try that the next time you do target, and always think about, I say always think about, like, you're wasting your own time there, so you might as well make it count. Agreed? Right.
Right, right.
Right. Okay, let's have a look at some other points with this creating the brand. Okay, and then there'll be a bit of an exercise at the end there. But I want to go back to the practical here. Okay, so the point of the personal brand, it must represent what is it that you stand for. Again, your aims, your current, uh, your current stance in certain aspects of life. So we say social life. So what you're ready to share, as personal with an audience or with a fan or whatever it may be, right? Or let's say a client at the end of the day that does also buy into your brand. Whatever your personal brand, you must refine it to the point where you are the number one choice for people who want to know what's happening, as well as those people who are making things happen. You never will be number one. No one is ever number one. There's always someone better, right, at any one given point. But you can always be, but you can aim to be top 10, top 50, top whatever it is. There's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of people to choose from, right? So if you want to be known as a music specialist, make sure that you are, yeah, like what you're sharing with the world around you is definitely reflecting this particular aspect of you, but also you're increasing, like you're sharpening that skill, you're remaining current and active, which is most important. You're building a portfolio, you're building a brand. Do you understand? So if you want to be known as someone that is a current affairs specialist, a business specialist, whatever it is, right? Make sure that when you are like exposed to the public, it is within this sector, right? So current affairs can go into politics, or it can go into lifestyle, or it can go into, um, like I say, finance or business or whatever it is. It's still current, right? But if you can be, like I say, maybe you're hosting on ENCA, right? I'm saying on television, but you're also, let's say, you've got a podcast that's specializing in whatever it is, South African finances or trends or whatever it is. And then you also are on air and you're doing a talk show, for example, right? Um, are ways that you can extend a brand in various ways. You're still broad, but within obviously that laser focus. So if you want to be known as an entertainer, make sure that all of the content that you create is unique, but doesn't fail at the end of the day to entertain. Um, some quick go throughs, right? If you ask a question, and I get that a lot of people, if you have a massive following, right? A lot of people could answer, at least respond with acknowledging all those responses that they've given to you, right? Or if there are enough for you to personally respond to, then respond to. Because if you ask someone to do something, they do it, and you don't acknowledge it, they're going to get angry with you. They're just going to get upset, like PO'd, and then be like, whatever, like I'm not going to do it again, right? So the acknowledging is more in the line of that kind of that one listener at a time, as we spoke about earlier. Your brand must extend, obviously, the bigger brand. If you're part of a radio station, you've got to be an extension of their mantra, whatever it is. Like, their manifesto in a way. So take time to write articles, create audio for online, for that the station can share, the station can host. That's got to be in line with, while you're also building, because that builds your personal brand as well, and while you're obviously building your personal brand in other aspects too, right? Create a mailing list. So it sounds old school, but literally you belong to many mailing lists. So push for subscribers, right? If you do have a landing page, or something that you can communicate in a bulk way, right? So a mailing list, obviously very effective. And when events are done, write a follow-up press release to make sure that whoever did miss it gets a little bit of a quote unquote scoop, a review on what happened, right? You can write it, you can do a vodcast on it, a video, I'm saying a reel, doesn't matter. There's so many different ways that you can cover that event. The people that are obviously hosting that event they'll be thankful for it, right? Because it's just free advertising. It's what is it? It's earned media, right? And you obviously have content with you at the center of it, right? So social media is vital. Create guidelines for yourself about what you post, right? You have to have you are limited, right? But in a very big box, right? So it's okay to be limited. At least you can build within something that doesn't have an endless, like this, just this sea of not knowing what you should post at the end of the day, because you can post anything about everything. Rather, box yourself so that you can have a little bit more refinement in what it is and purpose as to what it is that you want to post. Never respond to insulting or inflammatory comments. Like, you cannot ever, you mustn't even acknowledge them, even if they're and you mustn't delete them either, right? Unless they really are, I'm saying they are, you acknowledge it, you're going to say you're going to delete it, and then you delete it because it is highly offensive. It is inappropriate. Quack, quack, quack. But if it's a personal attack, you you can't respond to it. So a lot of the times, the endless amount of times, there are going to be people that are going to DM you directly. I'm saying, while you are on air, to tell you how immensely crap and rubbish you are, and they will take, specifically with women, we see it a lot more often. There's very personal jabs, and not because they're afraid of men. I don't know what it is about like a female presenter, but people, men and a woman, like attack them very directly, right, and make very offensive stuff. I'm saying that they'll make you want to phone them up and give them a piece of your mind. You can't do that. You're not allowed to, because that can go in many different ways, and you could land up in trouble, right? So also it shows that you are, again, very stereotypically putting yourself down to their level. I'll never stoop to their level. There it is, right there. Update your social media accounts regularly so that you are active, right? If you chose to be on all social mediums, then you've got to be active on all social mediums, right? So very old example, right? Um, but Barack Obama used back then, when he was obviously voted in, he was very active on social media, which is what contributed massively also to him winning the elections, right? In the end, what to do? People vote for the person they like, but first they have to know who you are. And if you're real and relatable, you're obviously going to attract more listeners to your show. We're nearly done with this one. Okay, so other options here. You can choose to support a charity. Like I said before, maybe you belong to an NGO, you're a big fan of, let's say, the SPCA or Docs Without Borders, whatever it is, right? And you will be constantly seen to support them and also be taking part in their charitable executions, I suppose, right? Volunteer to speak at schools, right? So do a lot of things for free, right? That you know is going to, at some point, bring back some traffic to get you some money, right? Always follow up with a thank you, right? After an interview or an appearance on your show, always follow up, because the thing is, I'll be like, cool, like you have um, some manners at the end of the day, and I wasn't just something or other as well. So always, and they'll always be ready to, once again, if everything went well, again, just contextually saying, they will also say, listen, yeah, this is someone cool. I was on this show, like, love the experience. Definitely, if they have to ask me for anything, like a liner or whatever it is, or an interview, once again, come into the studio, maybe do an OB, whatever it is, I'll do it, right? Because I know that I got something out of the experience, right? Benefited. Spend time each day publicizing your show in some other way while you are on air. And as soon as you can afford it, then go and maybe create some merchandise, right? Like we've seen Bonang do, for example. I don't think a lot of other people have done that. Um, I'm saying within our sector. Anyway, and done it, I'm saying, successfully. So, like I said, you know what that is. We know that that's Nike. We know that that's Apple, Coca-Cola, right? Woolworths, for example, right? And we'll come to that exercise in just a moment. Right, so just to close it off here, what is the role of the PR agent, right? The PR agency or the internal PR department. We want to be able to push the brand in places where the brand isn't, quote unquote, right? So the potential people are, or the current, like our listeners are, actively going to, like, it could be at festivals, it could be casinos, it could be shopping centers, it could be sporting events, it could be schooling events, so many places when we can actually do some PR, both with, let's say, an outside broadcast, but we can also share our branding in these places. Like we say, give away t-shirts, sponsor a soccer team, like we can, whatever, partner up with a certain brand for 6 or 12 months, whatever it may be, and it'll be synonymous with. So wherever they are, they need to, quote unquote, see us. We can do below the line marketing with poll advertising, whatever it may be, or even I wouldn't go to, let's say, leaflets or whatever it is, pamphlets. Excuse me. Right. But anyway, there are many ways we can do below the line marketing. But putting that opportunity, that brand, that logo, and that, again, just that presence everywhere is what we want to be able to accomplish. So I want you to think about this, right, while we complete the exercise, this exercise over here. Right. So I want you to think about this. We can get to it, to some feedback tomorrow. An outline of your brand, your own brand ideals, right? One unique way of making your brand stand out above all the other radio shows. 3 ways in which you would communicate, make known these brand ideals. 5 ways in which you would publicize your brand outside of radio and why you chose those particular ways. Motivation of why you would use X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, right? Um, I'll take the vice versa out, right? You can just give me motivation, right? And then if you can, maybe you do have a logo, right? That you've come up with. Why not share it with us, right? Share with us your social media platforms if you want some support in the class. I'm sure people will. I'm sure they're not that callous that they won't just follow you, because it's no big deal. So just to support, we share that out with us. Okay. So really go and do this. I will recap on this tomorrow as we move further with on air. I want to move to, in a second, I'm going to stop the share there. I'll close this, and we are going to head off to, who is that, so we can finish this exercise, then I'll let you go. All right. So 5 ideas, and just show. Right, 5 station promos. Right. Okay. So they can be anything if that makes it a little bit easier. Mm, We're talking about we're talking about BMH radio, something for the students. I'm saying a promo that would work. Imagine us being monetized or profitable. So we are in the space. Imagine us in the space of clients, products, services, whatever it may be, right? Events, etc. Let's say, a very like an easy one. Let's start with an event, right? So somewhere we can piggyback off somebody else, and they pay a lot of the money, right? We just come for the party type thing. What type of event? What event is big in the social calendar that BMH can go and piggyback on? Uh, Give us so Jewel, go ahead, continue.
Um, how about Cotton Fest?
Yep, it's a good one, right? Right, and we can broadcast from there, right?
Yeah.
We can just do an outside broadcast. Definitely ticket giveaways, right? Giveaways, uh, giveaways, man, giveaways. Very, very straightforward, right? Ticket giveaways, artist interviews, man, artist interviews. Uh, and then obviously we
Mer-
can just do, yeah,
Merch, as in t-shirts and
yeah,
merchandise.
we can do that. So I would do collaborative, right? Collaborative merchandise. So on the day, so BMH at Cotton Fest, whatever it may be, right? Tied in with the taglines of both the Cotton, obviously Cotton Fest, or our own. We can go on, right? Let's get another one again. Another station promo. So we can go with either events, or we can go on air. What could be a nice, cool station promo for students?
Um,
What do you need? What do you need?
Need as in there's a lot.
Student. Yeah, I know. There's a lot. That's what I'm saying. So there are a lot of ideas as well. What
Um,
about what about a year bursary? Huh?
of course, that would
Right.
help.
A year bursary, right? We can do that. Um, and obviously the semantics of that are like apply, you have to have these requirements. You understand what I'm saying to you? And we can get maybe some, obviously some expert professionals, right? It's professionals to help you, to guide you in the process, right? Guide in the process, right? But a year bursary from your studies. Okay, let me not be pushy. Give me another one.
Um, can we do ads?
Say again.
Advert
Can so
ads.
so station. So a promo must be an activation, like some kind of competition that goes out on air. You understand? Giveaways, experiences, money. You understand that type of thing. So
Okay,
we want
okay.
to build an experience around a promotion. So uh we can call yo. Um
What about a career day
yes,
based on what you're studying? And then maybe you get to spend a day with a professional in the field.
yeah, that's very cool. All right. So let's give it a what can I say? Not so, we'll word it better, but you know what I'm saying. Spend a day with your not idol. That sounds terrible. Industry idol. That sounds better. I don't like the word idol, but you understand what I'm saying. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool, right?
Mm.
So in conjunction with um, an open career day. Good. Let's get another one. Mm. Uh, sorry. Right. So another one would be like, for example, let's say like first semester blues, whatever it may be, right? So let's say first we can target like your first week on campus, right? And if give me a shared experience that I'll give you $10,000 to go spend at Park. What is that? What is that center called? Is it Park Mall? Is it Park Mall? I think it's Park Mall, right? The center that's next to us.
Ten
Park
more.
Benmore. Thank you. So let's say a 10, even 5,000, man. That's a lot of money. Okay, Benmore shopping center center voucher, right? For what? So let's think of something cool and funny um relating with back to school blues, you know? Every single day, like I say, we can give $5,000 a day for a week, right? And 5 days, 5 days, 5 winners. And what do you need to do for it? Any suggestions? Have some fun with it. Like, just do something simple and fun. We want as many people to participate as possible for all the days that it's on.
Didn't you already say something about sharing the experience, the first time experience on campus?
So let's make it a little bit more particular. It's a little broad. That's what I'm saying. I want to work through that idea. So is it how, like what's their it's like a comfort, like like a first week back to school comfort. I don't know. You know what I'm saying to you? In other words, what do you go to immediately to help you get through the first week of school? Does that make sense? You know?
Yes.
Yeah, that again, so I'm just gonna word it, you know. So uh what is your go-to, quote unquote, go-to coping mechanism, right? Coping mechanism, right? To get through, all right, the first week on campus. One more nice and easy, right? We can also tie that into Ben more. I mean, if we might not make it more, like obviously more relevant, we tie in this with Ben more in some or other way. So, for example, like what do you go, which shop do you go to? Like, where are you going to go spend your money on? You go to Checkers, you go to Kauai, like, are you a discount person? Like, I don't know. There's many different things in Benmore that you can go spend your money, right? Is it a restaurant feel? I don't know. Do you go, like I say, you binge spend on clothes at, I don't know what clothes shops there are there, but we can tie that in there. So that'll be nice. So I'm just going to say tie in to Benmore. Okay. For product activation, all right. One more. Let's focus it. I mean, if you got any that you would like to suggest, you can go ahead. Otherwise, let's look at the lifestyle again. So let's look at an experience. Um, we had an event there, but let's look at a bit another experience, right? Anything that's coming up, anything that. What about a mentorship? We can give away a mentorship, right? Can win,
Hmm.
yeah, like a mentorship uh program, uh, and we are collaborating. I don't know, with SABC. Uh, give me who's a great uh Accenture's not that. Who am I looking for? Like I want something for the PR people. we can, SABC does, let's collaborate with SABC and keep it simple, right? So SABC, because they do offer all the different, I'm saying, professions that we do. So media law to PR, marketing, sales, video, TV, broadcasting. So mentorship program that can be awarded, right? Nice station promos. This is going to be a difficult one. I need 5 strap lines. What is a strap line? So for example, we had the ones in class was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna make this one up because I just know the tagline. KZ100, whatever it is, Gauteng's number one hit music station. So that's a tagline. Okay, strapline, right? So we want to create ones for BMH. So let's go. There was one. Okay. Here was one that came up in other step in. I think it is, step in with BMH radio, right? And do something like that. Was one suggestion. Give me another one. Next one. Anything that really pushes the brand, the culture, student. Give me any. So I say vernacular stuff that works well, but it's like when I say vernacular, everyone must get it. So it's urban. It's urban. Um, vernac. In other words, it crosses across our ethnicities. Something cool. Come on. Brainstorm it at least. Say something. So then we can say, okay, that might not work. Let's try some very generic ones then. Okay. So as opposed to with the strap lines we said there, we can refer to the music, right? We can refer to the type of like what's the format of the station, which is again BMH radio. Okay. Uh, not not just Gen Z, but next gen. That's cool. But next gen. Boom. Right. Come on, man. Give me other suggestions as well. Not just Gen Z, but next gen. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But you say so myself. What about the music? Okay. Not more, we said there, more music you love as opposed to like less music you love. There are certain taglines or strap lines that just don't make sense, right? That we got to just tie in directly with better statements as opposed to infinites or indefinites or whatever it is. Things that you can't actually. So, what's the other one? What's the word I'm looking for? You can't, like, for example, you can never say never and you can never say ever just because you never will ever live to never, or you can never live till it never happens, and you have never lived till it ever has happened. For example, these are extremes that you don't want to ever use, quote unquote, like pun insinuated, right? Um, so okay, um, where something meets something, BMH radio meet. Give me something there. Meet something. BMH radio. Uh, right. What are the two things where something meets something? Come on. They're going to start becoming
It's
corny.
very difficult.
I know it is, but again, you can just you just to give it a go. If it doesn't sound right, we'll fix it. It's all part of the process. So, where jazz meets, can I say this? Yeah. No, I don't even think, because I'm using it in the wrong context now. No, I want to use this differently. Oh, oh yeah. What is it? Give me the right spelling of it. I want to say Saja. What is it? Is it BMH radio? I'm really just like spitballing here. Is it called? It's not Sajiva. What is it? Give me the right pronunciation of it. It's this thing that I'm missing here. What's the word here? Just before it? So it's a party, as far as I understand. What's the word I'm looking for?
Sia, Siya.
Sajiva. Nice, right? Plain and simple. Let's do another two more, and I'll let you go from there. Well, you're free to do whatever you want, obviously, but we'll stop it there. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Just try it, really. Save space and all. Ouch. Yeah, my back. Uh, I want, maybe something. I want to say something. I'm getting it from Jay-Z. What is it? Something, something, no problems. Uh, 99. No, 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 stop. I'm just going Jay-Z. I want to say 99 problems, but uh, we ain't one BMH radio. Yeah, that's pretty cool-ish. Huh? Give me what you were going to say. What were you going to say?
Nah, nothing. So I'm just listening to whatever you're throwing out there.
Yes, yes, you guys killing me. 99 problems. Okay. But not going to use the word, obviously, that Jay-Z uses, but I want to use something close to it. So what rhymes with switch? Ah, um, no, damn it. Um, I can just do this. This is corny, but BMH radio ain't one. All right. One more. Come on, come on, come on. So
Let's make
you
memories.
so uh so let's say um making daily memories like that.
Yeah.
UMH radio. Okay. I don't mind it, right? At all. Okay. Right. Any questions? So just to have a recap on all of that, uh, all understood. Just want to show you again, I'll continuously not do this because it's going to get excessive and it's going to get very boring very quickly. But a good, like I say, uh, quite in-depth example of just broadening your ability to think about ideas, right? Talk topics, interviews, promos, strap lines. Okay. I will share this with you, obviously, right? I'll put it up in the when I share the videos, I'll put it up in Call Campus as well. Let Grant do it. Excuse me, right. Any questions, right, about what we any questions about the class, anything in general? Just gonna close that over there. Let's stop the recording.